Hey everybody, I'm Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, June 18th, 2020. I've come back outside today because the last few days we spent indoors thinking about midlife, and today I want to think about existential seasons. Those times in our lives where we may feel like, why is it that everybody else's life is in bloom and mine is simply going through some sort of dark winter? Well, let's take some inspiration from around us. Just a few weeks ago, this bush back here was in fact covered with yellow flowers. This rose bush down here to my right was covered up with red roses. It was gorgeous. And yet now they are simply green. There's no flowers left. This was pink from top to bottom, and now it is nothing but green. And yet, while all of those different plants are losing their flowers and moving into a season of simply being green, over here we find the butterfly bush is popping with purple flowers. In fact, there's been a shift. It's almost like the color started over there and has moved across my backyard and now is coming into bloom here in the butterfly bush, and then up here with the crepe myrtles that are just now beginning to come out in their very beautiful light lavender color. Now, how is it that we're able to take a lesson from this that is existentially relevant to who we are? I think it's important for us to recognize that far too often we spend our lives wishing we were in a different season. For example, consider behind me this lemon tree. You can see all of the different lemons that are beginning to take shape. They won't be ready, they won't turn yellow until next December. However, right now, what's going on over on this side of my yard is we in fact have blueberries that are all just now about ready to be eaten. And we can't wait. These are delicious blueberries. So is it better to be the lemon tree or the blueberry bush? Is it better to be the yellow flowers that bloomed 3 months ago or the butterfly bush blooming right now? What a silly question. The whole point is all of these become who they are and they play forth in their beauty precisely on time. Now, that doesn't mean that things can't go wrong. A bitter frost can come in late and actually kill the buds before they get a chance to bloom. If I'm not careful, the blueberry bush and also the lemon tree can really be susceptible to different types of weather and different types of amounts of water, for example, if I give them too much or too little. So it's important that we cultivate ourselves in relationship to the season in which we find ourselves. We have to care about ourselves, care about our souls, but also recognize that, sometimes just now isn't gonna look like tomorrow. And it's easy to get jealous of others who seem to be living into their flowering right now while we simply lie dormant, waiting for something to happen. It's sort of like in the Chronicles of Narnia, it's always winter but never Christmas. However, if we take an example from nature, we realize that there's nothing better or worse about any of these different flowers, any of these different bushes or plants, but they all have different time frames. They have different schedules. All of us similarly are moving through life in different ways, with different types of priorities, with different risks, different hopes, different ways that we have in relationship to what we take to matter. But all of that is fine. So stop being jealous, stop being desirous of the other bush, of the other person, of the other life, and recognize that your life will begin to bloom precisely when it is time for the blooming to occur. Let's do the best we can not to live our lives in regret, not to live our lives in despair, but instead to recognize that even if there is no flower right now, that flower might be coming sooner than we think. I'll see you tomorrow unless a piano falls on our heads.